it going? Anyways, we're down here in Oceanside. Johnny's house just behind me. The red truck you can see, well, it's kind of back there if you can see it or not. We've been busy slamming away here. You know, we made a decision. I've been watching YouTube channels and stuff, and the Philippines is opening up February 10th. So that'll be tomorrow. And so we went ahead and booked a flight. We were originally supposed to head to the Philippines in 2019, had a ticket and everything, and then COVID hit and basically crushed that plan. We ended up with a sailboat. We did the refit, had fun for a year. Somebody made me an offer, like I said in an earlier video, and we pulled the trigger and sold the boat. And then we just been kind of floating along because Philippines wasn't open and wasn't sure what we were going to do. Didn't really have a contingency plan for after selling the boat. So anyways, we're just visiting friends. You know, I got Harper down in La Jolla. We went and visited an old boarding school friend I grew up with, the brother. I have a friend here in Oceanside, just above San Diego, La Jolla, just above there. It's Johnny is from my other boarding school. And then I have another friend, Joel, who lives up in LA, and I've been to visit him a couple times. And I'm actually going to be flying out of LA and probably stay at his house the night before we leave. So today is the 9th. Again, the Philippines opens up tomorrow, the 10th, to tourism basically again. So, I mean, people are booking flights. Try to get hold of Philippines airline, forget it. You're on hold for hours. But anyways, our flight is for February 28th, or no, I'm sorry, February 27th is our flight. So our flight is for February 27th. We leave at 1 p.m. in the afternoon from LAX and fly into Manila straight through. It's going to be about a 15-hour flight. Got Wanagi, all her service animal dog paperwork done with Department of Transportation, Philippine Airlines, and then all my doctor, spine surgeon letters and all that stuff. So, you know, I've done all my crossing all my T's, dotting all my I's, but trying to get a hold of Philippines Airlines and get them the correct information they request is impossible. There's no emails, addresses. I've been emailing even account executives all over the country and in the Philippines trying to get someone to respond, or hopefully someone will forward my information to the right party, because I'm supposed to notify the airlines 48 hours ahead of time before we fly out. So I've got a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks basically, before we're flying out. So we have time, I think, even if I have to take a trip to LAX airport and show up to the ticket counter and hand them my information with my e-ticket information, then that should be sufficient and we should be able to get going. I even already paid extra money for my seat. It's in economy, whatever, but I paid extra to get the roomier foot room, so she has room to lay down at my feet and we're not too crowded in. So hopefully it'll all work out okay. Worst case scenario, I would have to buy a carrier and put her under, but I shouldn't have to because it is a flight originally in the United States. The American Disability Act applies. Especially since I have letters from my spine surgeon and she helps me with stability, mobility issues, and then also some PTSD issues. But it's for mobility, stability is what my spine surgeon wrote it for. And then I also have another lady, nurse practitioner, who wrote me also a letter for Wanagi in particularly, and concurred basically with my spine surgeon on my need for a service animal. So that's kind of the gist of it. Long talking like I usually do, but we're getting ready to take a major adventure, a major change in life, because as soon as we get to the Philippines, I basically get a visa for 30 days as a US citizen. It's an automatic kind of thing. So far, things could change, but at this point, that's what it is. And then as soon as we get our feet on the ground there, I have all my paperwork and everything ready so that I can apply for a residency visa once we're there. So, hey, how's it going? We're here in Oceanside, Wanagi and me. What's up, buddy? She needs a drink, but we'll get her one here after we get off the pier. But you check it out, California coastline. Down there is San Diego behind us. Up here is Oceanside and up to Orange County and beyond, California coast. Anyways, we're down here hanging out with my buddy Johnny. I know him from boarding school. Another one of my friends was coming down here for the memorial of one of our co-friends, Eric, passed away in December. And good guy, miss him tons. It was in one of my earlier videos, you might have seen it. When I found the news out, it broke my heart. But anyways, we're just down here enjoying Southern California, out here on the pier. Like I said, I wanted to come out here to the end because point is, this is basically the direction I'm walking. That's where we're headed, is the Philippines. And it's pretty much straight out that way across the Pacific Ocean, towards Japan, towards the coast of China. All that is the islands of the Philippines, which is where we're going to be moving to permanently. I'm on disability, disability retired firefighter, and I can't afford to live here in America anymore. We had our sailboat, which was awesome, and you know, we were able to do the refit on that and enjoy that experience. But the reality is with my disabilities, living on a boat's probably not a good idea, just because if my back goes out, we'd be in a lot of trouble pretty quick, especially if we'd be living off the hook out here in the ocean. But anyways, I just wanted to share this coming out on the pier here. Wanagi likes any sort of walk here. She's just having a good time. But sunset's in probably about another hour and a half or so, and the sunsets here are beautiful. Yeah, that's what we got going on. One-legged bird. Hey, welcome back to my channel. So we got a lot we have to accomplish in the next couple of days. We got about a week and a half to 2 weeks that we got to get everything accomplished before we leave for the Philippines. It's been a scramble. I've been on the phone for hours now trying to get a hold of Philippines Airlines and accomplish some of this service dog stuff, paperwork that I need to get accomplished and turned into them. It's virtually impossible to get a hold of anyone. It's no email addresses. The website has a phone number, but it just puts you into another. So like I was saying, it's just been one thing after another trying to get stuff accomplished in time to get on a plane and get out of here. And so some of the things we got to do still, I need to get a thing called an RT, rapid antigen PCR test or something like that. It's basically the COVID blood draw test or something, or they wipe you and then they send it off to a lab, and to get that expedited with some money because it has to be within 48 hours of boarding the plane. Another thing is I've got to get her veterinarian USDA veterinarian paperwork done, and that has to be done also. It's within 48 hours, the final checkup. She's got all her vaccines, the rabies, all that stuff done for being in the Philippines, but there's still the USDA approved veterinarian 48 hours prior to the flight visit to get her through customs. Once we get to the Philippines, I've got to get a permit from the Bureau of Importation of Animals for the Philippines, which is an online thing, and I'm still working on a Philippines address for that, but probably do a homestay or something like that, and use the address of the homestay that I did for the first week. And then what else? I have all the retirement visa stuff pretty much will be handled once I'm in the Philippines, although I've got my background investigation done and some other things that I'll take with me there. It'll make it a lot easier and helpful. So anyways, so we're getting closer and closer with everything that we need to have accomplished before we get on the plane. The truck, I'm going to just end up leaving it with my brother Joel here, from another mother basically, but from another boarding school friend. And he's going to sell it for me, and then I'll just give him a seller's fee basically.
quite frankly, from the videos I've seen, the country just doesn't have the capability of handling a lot of them, even though they're in the way of those. They know they're coming at some point, and the people just suffer, and it's usually the poorer people. So it would be something, you know, for me to do that would be to keep me busy and give me some fulfillment in my life is maybe coming up with something where I could build an organization that stocks water, filters, food. I've got a lot of, you know, from my firefighting, from my camping, just my experiences at Standing Rock and these other places, is how to create survivability, especially with my emergency medical training, is thinking ahead and things like that, and triage and stuff. But being able to come into a catastrophe situation and help. And that's kind of what I think I'm going to look into. And what that will all entail, I don't know. It may be just raising money, using my YouTube channel and other means to raise money so that it's there when a disaster happens. That money can get pushed that way to help the people that are living on the ground, the poorer people who don't have their infrastructure gets taken out, and they don't have means for fresh water, food, communications, and all that, and medical care even, and things like that. And so maybe I can help take a dent or a bite out of that angst that happens when these disasters hit. So, but that's kind of the idea. It's kind of something maybe I could do that would be humanitarian wise, would be a good thing for me to get involved in. So anyways, we'll see how that goes, and I'll share more about that as we get into country and we figure out where we're going to home base out of, and the people that I meet along the way. And I'm sure people are going to be put in my path, and I'm going to keep my eyes and my ears open, because that's how my life always works, is I go on these adventures, and it lays out a certain way, and I just kind of follow along, and it's amazing what happens to the people I meet, the situations that arise that I'm able to participate in, and also, yeah, boy, I can talk. Monogamy, I can talk.
Yeah, he sure can. My dad's a talker. Aren't I?
Anyways, we're staying here at my friend Johnny's, and a friend from boarding school, like I said. Such a nice guy to have us stay here. He loves Monogamy, and we're like brothers. And I'm making dinners, and we go out to dinner a lot, and we're having a good time, just sharing the space and our past lives together, and building some memories. So it's pretty cool. And he'll definitely come visit me in the Philippines, I'm sure, a couple times.